Hi, this is Mike on the Castro, coming at you from New York City's financial district on a cold winter day. In this video, I'll be talking about how to handle unhappy guests. This topic is a metaphor for how to handle difficult situations in your daily life. This topic is really meaningful for me. I'm going to provide you some personal stories and specific methods for how to resolve unhappy guests. With that said, let's get into it. Let me start off by saying that no one, including myself, likes to deal with difficult situations. If you practice hospitality service, you should have fewer experiences, but sometimes it's inevitable. In life, sometimes we have really difficult days where it feels like everyone's against us and there's no end in sight. That's going to happen, that's part of life, okay? When that happens, I like to remind myself that it's not really a problem. It's how you handle the situation that determines if there is a problem or not. I'm standing in front of the Bull near Wall Street, which was conceived for the Black Monday stock market crash in 1987. It was created to inspire people to look ahead for brighter days, to a brighter future. I also read somewhere that the US economy goes through a recession about every 10 years. So why every time we go into a recession, it's like an unexpected phenomenon? Okay, it's going to happen. You need to be prepared. Also, you'll see a lot of people, they're rubbing the Bull's balls for good luck. I think I might have to do that later. Let's focus on some difficult life situations. I will relate this back to how to handle unhappy guests, so try to stay with me. Have you ever gone through adversity with a friend, a family member, or a loved one? Think about that. I'll provide you some examples from my own life. When I was younger, I grew up in an upper middle class household. Both my parents worked and all my needs were basically met. At one point, they both lost their jobs and the situation around me became a little bit tenser. I could feel that they were stressed. I was probably about 12 or 13 at the time, so I couldn't really help them and I felt kind of helpless. Over time, my parents both got new jobs and we all became stronger because of it. We went through the adversity together. Another example, bringing me back to my high school days, who's ever played sports, I think it's a great way to build camaraderie and get to know someone. So I did wrestling in high school and that was insane. We did tons of conditioning every day, we just beat each other up. My practice partner was actually one of the best on the team. He would overpower me every single day and push me to my limit. But I respected him because he wasn't cocky about it. Also, after practice, we would do extra conditioning and run up and down the stairs of our high school. So our high school had 3 levels. So imagine running up and down the stairs after a full 2 hour of practice. It was insane. During our competitions, we went through wins, we went through losses. And through those experiences, we developed bonds, really deep, close bonds, and we felt like family. There are studies that say that couples going through adversity together, whether it be small arguments about communication style and money, actually become closer. I'm not saying go out and fight with your friend or significant other. That's definitely not what I'm saying, and I don't recommend it. And if you're doing that consistently, I don't have all the answers. You might want to see a therapist. But what I'm saying is that when you go through adversity, you have the opportunity to really get to know someone, get closer to them, and develop a deeper connection. Hospitality is the same way. You can go through adversity with the guest, but then you could develop a deeper bond with them and really win them over. So now let me give you a restaurant example for how to handle unhappy guests. When I was a manager in a restaurant, one of our veteran servers came over to me and said, "Nicastro, I need help. The food's taking so long at this table and they're really upset." So what do? I naturally feel anxious because I want to avoid this contentious situation. It's like, who wants to walk into a cage with tigers? Not me. But sometimes in life, you have to do the things that are uncomfortable. So I went over to the table, introduced myself, siren's going off. So I went over to the table, introduced myself as the manager, and immediately outlined how we failed in their experience thus far. I showed empathy. They seemed unfazed and still upset. So I offered a solution. I said, "I'm going to bring out the food that you ordered in a timely manner. After that, they seemed a little bit happier, but I knew I needed to do something extra. So to offer added value, and you guys could use my trick that I'm about to share with you, okay? What did I do? I brought over the dessert menu and said, I want you to have a nice end to your meal. I want you to have a sweet finish. Here's our dessert menu. You can choose anything you like from here, and I'll take care of it. After that moment, they became invested in that restaurant. Why? They went through ups and downs, but on one down, they were brought back up. That's hospitality. And that creates a lasting restaurant like the one that I'm standing right in front of, Delmonico's Steakhouse, which has been around since 1837. They have guests that are constantly there with them each step of the way and with them through the years. Now let me give you a step-by-step guide for how to handle unhappy guests in the moment. Keyword, in the moment. So ideally, you would like to be proactive and prevent these situations from happening, but sometimes you can't do anything about it. And I also want to make clear that you should listen to the rules and regulations of your operation. What I'm about to share with you is just my opinion and one way to handle the situation. With that said, 3 ways to handle unhappy guests are 1, stay calm, 2, be mindful, and 3, offer solutions. I'm gonna dive into each one a little bit deeper. Stay calm. Hospitality, like Wall Street, can be an emotional roller coaster if you let it. Sometimes our emotions blind us to what's really happening around us. Think back to a time, say if someone's screaming at you, your natural instinct will be to scream back. Or, say during a breakup, emotions are super high. You start cursing each other out, delete all their photos from social media, shit talk them. That's when your emotions get the best of you. Is that the best response? Probably not. Let's say if a guest is screaming at you, instead of screaming back at them, stay calm, and you'll see that they'll be shocked and you'll slowly bring them down to your frame. Number 2, be mindful. Observe your surroundings and understand what's happening around you. Keyword, happening. Try to be proactive again and try to catch it before the situation gets worse and worse. Okay. Let me give you an example. When I was a manager, again in the restaurant, we had a situation where a server spilled wine on a guest. So I went over to the table, cleaned up the spill, apologized, and gave the guest some stain removing items to remove the stain off their shirt. I went over and I said, I'm so sorry, can I do anything to help you? I'm really sorry. She's like, no, I'm fine. She was with her friends trying to have a good time, so I thought she was fine. I ended up giving her my contact card and I let her be. Later on, she emailed me, thanked me for coming over, but stated that she needed a little bit more extra care and she didn't feel taken care of. So in that situation, I misread her needs. What did we end up doing? We ended up reimbursing her for dry cleaning. So in that situation, sometimes saying sorry is not enough, and you need to be able to read your guests. And number 3, offer solutions. Now I've said this before, but basically providing a response, an individualized response for the guest is the best way to handle any situation. Now for all 3 steps, the most important thing is to respect the guest's needs. If you can't do that, you're not hospitable, game over. I highly recommend reading a book called Setting the Table by Danny Meyer, one of New York City's most well-respected restaurateurs. He started Shake Shack, he started restaurants like Gramercy Tavern, Union Square Cafe. In his book, he talks about hospitality management and many ways to handle difficult guests. To conclude, I'm frozen. Let's keep that in there. To conclude, people go on vacations, they go out to eat, they go to see events or shows to escape their daily struggles. If something goes wrong, boom, they voice out their frustrations either in the moment or on social media. That's part of the game. It's going to happen, okay? It's going to happen. Some of the best times in your life will be with people, and some of the most difficult times in your life will be with people too. Try not to be too attached to the moment. Try not to feel everything. That's my problem. I'm so empathetic, I feel so close to the situation. But try to take a step back and kind of distance yourself a little bit. Then you'll feel less of the burden. Now I have a homework example for you guys. No matter what your job is, I want you to visualize some difficult situations and visualize how you would solve them. I want you to write it down. This will, be like muscle memory, like lifting a weight or something. Write it down, so when that situation happens or something like that, you know how to respond. Now, I'm freezing cold. We're in New York City right now during the holidays, and it's an important time to be grateful for things. So thank you guys so much for watching my video. Please leave a comment, subscribe below. I'll tell you right now, I'm grateful for my videographer, Drew, that's also braving the cold with me, filming this video. So thank you, Drew. Shout out to Drew. And have a good holiday season to you and your family. Thank you so much.